Undaunted by the challenges they faced, they would not rest until they were number one again.
Yeah!
You're not black or Asian.
I'm gay.
Do you sleep in a coffin?
No, that's vampires.
Are you allowed to be out in the sun?
Those are also vampires.
Are you a vampire?
Leon, I know you didn't like Anchorman, or you don't like Ron Burgundy, but the legend continues.
Well, it wasn't so much that I didn't like Anchorman. It's more like I hated it, and I tried to walk out of it, but it ended before I could get out of my chair.
So it was good then.
Yeah, it had you that captivated. Yeah. Even though you hated it, you couldn't leave.
I was debating that last 30 minutes. I was debating, and when I finally made up my mind, I was like, "Man, fuck this! I'm leaving."
The problem with Anchorman is I saw it after like 5 other Will Ferrell movies had come out already that were basically just ripping off Anchorman. It was like every single beat of the film, man-child story.
Yeah, he's the same guy.
Really great at something, and he's world famous, and then he fucks it all up and hits rock bottom only to find his humanity and crawl back up. It's the same fucking movie over and over, and by the time I saw Anchorman, I was like, man, it's just another one of these fucking movies.
Yeah, he's that same guy from that basketball movie, except with a mustache this time.
He's that same guy from every fucking movie he's been in. He has only been in one movie where he's not Will Ferrell, and that is that movie, Everything Must Go. And I thought...
Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, you got it, in Stranger Than Fiction. And I thought it was because he was just that good in it. And I realized, no, it's because he doesn't yell like that in the movie. I mean, well, he's actually doing Chris Farley.
Yeah. But it's you did about 10 other actors, too, yeah.
His trick is he's a man-child who doesn't get social cues, who's like so in his own head he doesn't get social cues. God. And then they just like, okay, he's the same guy, but in this situation, it's like color forms. Okay, now he's in the 70s with a mustache. Go.
And it's basically, as so many Lorne Michaels type evolved Saturday Night Live products are, it's a series of set pieces based on a character. It's like you take like an entire 3 years worth of Will Ferrell's sketches with the same characters on Saturday Night Live, glue them together in different locations, and you have a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, and he should have about 10 Oscars by now because he's played a retarded person in everything he's done. Only person in Hollywood who's played a retarded person ain't got an Oscar. But Will Ferrell, I mean, in this he plays Ron Burgundy, the character from the first movie, which I never saw. And,
you did?
No, I never. I saw it in pieces. But I'm caught between. I'm caught between people like you, Leon, and between people who love it. Because I saw it and I'm like, I don't hate it, but
I still don't know anybody who actually loved it. I think out of all the Will Ferrell movies, even Will Ferrell fans probably think that one was just okay. But I saw it, and the only time I laughed was during the dog scene with the bear.
Me too. Maybe I saw it with you. The thing is, co-host, like on Spill, even more so than Spider-Man 3, I get people going, "Why do you hate Anchorman?" Over and over and over again. And I'm like, really? Is it that hard to figure out?
Why do you give a fuck?
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. This is the same fucking Will Ferrell movie that you saw last time. This is Step Brother. This is Talladega Nights. I mean, I don't understand why everybody has just chosen to to cling on to Ron Burgundy. Is it because of his mustache? I don't know.
That was one of the first of them of these type of movies.
Okay, that's true.
And so those people saw that when it came out. Were like, it was really funny. One of the first for me was Talladega Nights, and I thought it was hysterical when I saw it. I can't even judge it objectively because it was the first one of these for me. I was like, I still think that's the funniest one because it's my first one. For all I know, if I'd seen Anchorman first, that would have been the funny one. But you're right. They're all pretty much the same movie over and over again. It just depends on whether or not you find that kind of set piece man-child thing funny.
I also find with Anchorman, a lot of it is like, hey, look how goofy the 70s were. See how much fun I'm making of the 70s? I'm like, yeah, I was alive then, and you got it all wrong. I'm sorry. I mean, to these kids, I'm sure they think it's all funny and it's accurate, but it's not.
You've offended Leon in his 70s vibe.
Well, I got to hold that on you, Leon. You don't go looking for Ron Burgundy for historical accurateness.
No, I get that.
Hey, man, 70s wasn't like that. Life ain't like that.
Boy, I hope they make a movie as good as The Mac when I see this one.
I mean, in a lot of ways, the setting seems mainly to support the one real joke they have, which is that they're all a bunch of really massive, machismo, sexist douchebags.
Right.
And you could not do this kind of humor if it wasn't set in the 70s. In fact, I'll hand the original Anchorman this. At the very least, it was trying to say something about can you believe how outdated these type of opinions are?
Yeah.
By making it so absurd.
And this one did more with its sequel than I thought it would. This one is not actually the 70s anymore, Leon. This is 1980. Get it, not 80s, but 80.
Insert Pac-Man here.
This is before Pac-Man.
It is.
It's
You lived it now.
It's just people
Pong.
wearing white shirts with the big letter with big words.
No.
It was the age of Ghostbusters, apparently. Because they even make a Ghostbusters reference, and even I was like, wait a minute, they're still in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
I fucked that all up.
This is 1980, so we still got some of that 70s stuff going on, some residual 70s.
Oh, right.
Still happening. We still got the funk of the 70s.
70s leftovers.
It takes about 3 or 4 years for a decade to really set.
Yeah. And so now that the new age has come in, finally somebody has come up and told Ron Burgundy, man, you fucking suck. I don't know why it took him so long, but it's Harrison Ford. He comes and say, you're the worst fucking Anchorman I've ever seen.
and this is Harrison Ford telling
And
you.
it's Harrison Ford telling you that. So he says, look, your wife, played by Christina Applegate, she said, look, she's in. She's good, but you got to get the hell on out of here. Of course, that causes friction between his wife and him. And so they end up splitting apart. He goes to New York because he's offered a job to do this new concept called 24-hour news. Of course,
That's crazy.
Everybody, yeah, exactly. Nobody's going to watch 24-hour news. And so he goes to New York. He gets the whole gang back together. Steve Carell as Rick Tamlin, Paul Rudd as Brian Fantana, and David Koechner as Champ Kind.
Yeah.
That is right.
That's right.
And they go and they all together. He got his own team. They're working for this new station, and he's working for this strong, sexy black woman played by Megan Good. And she sees him. She says, you know what? These guys, they're fucking retarded. I don't know what we're going to do with them. Don't worry about it. We're putting them on the night shift, graveyard shift. Nobody's going to even watch. They get down there and they just start doing their own thing. And, of course, everybody loves it. No matter how stupid it is.
No. I learned that from Weird Al's movie.
Yeah, exactly. But
I learned that from us.
but the thing that they're doing is that they're not talking about serious news anymore. They're talking about, like, frivolous shit, and they throw America in on everything.
Let's see here. Global temperatures rise 0.5 degree. Alarm climate scientists. Boring. What if we show a porno instead of the news?
Freddie?
No, absolutely not.
Freddie, come on. We're just brainstorming here. We're trying to figure out how to make the news less boring, and you act like we peed in your milkshake.
The news is supposed to be boring, Ron. Serious stuff.
I just don't know why we have to tell the people what they need to hear. Why can't we just tell them what they want to hear?
Wait. Say that again?
I said, why do we have to tell the people what they need to hear? Why can't we just tell them what they want to hear?
And what do they want to hear, Ron?
That we live in the greatest country God ever created.
Damn straight!
So it's pretty much satirizing today's news. And they actually make some good points when they do that. But the movie, just like every Will Ferrell movie, this one in particular is, first of all, it's nonsensical. So it's just downright silly.
It's even more non sequitur filled and absurd than the first film's humor was, which in some ways is better, and in some ways is much worse.
I think in the way you're right. In some ways, it is better because, needless to say, yes, I'm a dumb motherfucker. All right, I laugh at a lot of dumb things, and this movie had a lot of that, and I laughed hard.
Oh yeah,
but I know you did. Oh yeah, I heard you. The patented co-host.
I was sitting next to him the whole movie.
Was Adam Sandler in this?
I got to give it to you though, man. I'm not even criticizing you. It is infectious.
It is, and that's the thing with this movie. As much as I really despised the first movie, I found myself laughing through the first part of this, and even through the second part, and I was like, man, okay, something is wrong here. Something is wrong. I don't know who decided to go back and redo this formula, because we haven't seen a Ron Burgundy film. And how long has it been?
9 years.
It's been almost 9 years. Almost. I mean, it's almost a decade where you're like, who's looking for this guy again? So I'm like thinking, poor Will Ferrell. I guess this is it. They say you can't go back home, but I guess he's trying to. And once I was like, wow, you know what? It seems like he's actually put some thought into these jokes. It's not like they just ran the film to see how many jokes they can get out and actually just go, you know what, why don't we just play this for everyone? No, they actually took the time to make the jokes that work really stand out. And I was fucking floored by it. I was honestly surprised, just going to myself, this is the first Will Ferrell movie I've seen in a long time that's honestly made me laugh.
Now I'm angry. That laugh is killing me now. That laugh just made me pissed off. That laugh is going through a loop in my brain. I'm mad now, man.
Maybe I'm just at a point where I'm like, I know this is dumb as fuck. Why do I care to really critique this at all anymore?
I know. Things about the end for us. What the hell?
Yeah,
Enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't beat them, join them.
It might have been 1 out of every 15 jokes that actually made you laugh pretty hard, and the rest were like 3/4 and 1/4. That's cute.
Yeah.
But that one big laugh was a big laugh. It was like kind of like you're like, okay, that was pretty fucking funny.
Man,
and nobody killed me more, with the exception of a subplot they gave him, than Brick, Steve Carell, who's the dumbest one of all of them.
Yeah.
They do some stuff with him that was just so absurd. I just was like, what the fuck was that? I was laughing even though it made absolutely no sense.
Yeah. See, you're right. When a joke hits hard, it hits hard. I'm not even gonna say it's a joke. It's just stupid shit just threw together, and somehow you just laugh because it was so silly. It's that fucking 7-year-old kid who just walks in the middle of the room with his pants down, and you just laugh because it's just dumb. It ain't clever.
Screams, and then he runs out of the room and trips on himself.
You looking for attention. Okay, you finally did the one thing that's making me laugh.
Well, can you guys reveal one example?
Well, yeah, I can. The part that I really laughed hard, that makes no sense. They're celebrating Ron Burgundy's success, and he's in the middle of New York in an ice skating rink in a white jumpsuit, just playing a flute while he's ice skating.
Which is a callback to the first film. There's a scene where he takes Christina Applegate out to a club, and she's already like, oh, this guy. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to get on stage and play jazz flute. And she's like, oh, here we go. And even as an audience member, you're waiting for it to be like, and then he's like this maestro. He's amazing.
And he's playing disco flute too, so it's shit is funny. But most of the movie, they're ad-libbing a lot. But that ad-libbing is just to act like fucking mentally ill children. Yeah. Especially Steve Carell. There's moments where they really do act like kids looking for attention. They just scream. They just and that's not funny to me.
Where you're thinking like, man, this seems really desperate. It's like nobody knew what to do, so they're just like, you know what, screaming and yelling seems to be like working these days. Why don't we try that? And they do it. But honestly, a few of those scenes caught me off guard, because I was just like, wow, this has gone into a whole other territory of insanity. And I don't know whether just to look at it and scoff at it, or to realize at some point in time it's going to be brilliant comedy, because it's just something you just don't see anymore in comedies anymore, where they just say, fuck it, let's just lose our fucking minds.
I know what you're thinking. You thinking the Three Stooges school of comedy.
Exactly. There's a brilliant part in this movie where these guys are looking at this painting, and they're just shooting this shit, and like, and one of them cracks each other. Yeah, and the other. And I said, that's crazy. And they all, like in uproarious laughter, and then it cuts off. And then you see them in the same scene just looking at each other, like talking. And you're like, wait a minute, was that a bad edit? What was going on?
See, that is true, man. It's
insane.
There's some things that just, I like this kind of humor, but they just don't know when to cut it off, and it's just filled with parts where they just let them just do anything, and a lot of things could work. Even those crazy parts, they're screaming and hollering. It would be fine if they just didn't let it run. You could tell the director was in there with the editor, and they were just laughing their asses off. Just, hey, it's funny, ain't it? They just let it go long. Well, I would have been in the room. I would have been like, man, cut that shit off.
The biggest complaint I had though was at the very end. I thought that end where they tried to like take you back to that first movie, obviously with the big battle between all the anchors.
That was the highlight of the whole film for me.
Well, I thought there were some parts that worked for it, but there were other parts where it's exactly what you said. I mean, it's more there than it is anywhere else. I thought in the movie where they just don't know how to end it. It just drags on, and some of these cameos and people they bring on, really, it's like their worst comedy. It's like they were told on the spot, just think of something funny.
I was curious about that, because just like a couple hours ago, I was told by somebody else who saw it that toward the end there's like just a huge amount of crazy cameos. And he was like, but people might not talk about this film, but they're gonna be talking about those cameos. He sounded excited, but to me, I was like, I don't know. Sometimes a gimmick like that can really turn me off.
Well, in the first film, do you remember they did the same thing, really, where the leader of every news group was a really familiar face.
Right,
You're like, oh, they got them for this movie, for this cool cameo. They did this thing here, except they had a bigger budget, and so the people they were able to pay to come in were bigger names even.
Okay.
It was like, oh my God. And it keeps building with like, holy shit, they got them?
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount of like just laughing because you can't believe they're even in this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And there's like, I mean, there's bits inside of there that work really well because like the original was just different news teams. Now this movie's about satirizing the state of news today. So these news teams all are sort of representative. Like they have the team from the History Channel that has like a Minotaur and the ghost of Stonewall Jackson, and you're like, because the History Channel's bullshit.
That's actually kind of funny, man. It's like some of it, that whole half of that whole scene works and half of it doesn't. Because some of the cameos do work, and the part that doesn't work, boy, Kanye West could not act.
Oh, no.
That motherfucker has about.
Wait a minute. Are you saying a rapper could not act? Because I've never seen that happen before.
4 words. You can fuck up. You're a rapper. You fucked up 4 words. There's a part where he looks at the camera, and it's not even 4 words. It's 3. He's like, look at that.
I mean, if you've seen his videos, you realize he can't act in his videos either. I'm sure, let alone his home videos.
Well, now you say 4 words. I remember George Bush hates black people. He pulled that off okay.
And even then, he couldn't read that script in his head. You see how it was? He's like, George Bush hate black people. Man, that's your that's your script. That's in your head.
You know what they say about an infinite amount of monkeys with an infinite amount of typewriters with an infinite amount of time. One of them is going to write a Shakespeare play. Sooner or later, Kanye West was going to say something that was true.
I'm not so sure about that monkey reference.
Yeah, I was about to say, how long is it going to be for somebody connects monkey and Kanye West?
Not a black people thing.
I did it, Corey.
That makes you the racist.
But they'll pass it on to you. You know that.
But you're right. Kanye looked like a hand puppet that somebody was just didn't know what to do with. I mean,
it looked like a chipmunk that was chewing on a gold Hershey's Kiss wrapper. It was just like, what the fuck? Who is? I didn't even.
It did, because he looked like he had his mouth full of nuts and shit. He had some fake gold teeth and shit. And
look forward to Kanye working with Steven Seagal sometime in the future.
That was bad, man. But this is a movie so silly that you wonder if they even gave a shit themselves, or did they just not give a shit on purpose? Like, because you're right, it's 1980, and Steve Carell says at one point they make a reference to a haunted house or something. He's like, I ain't afraid of no ghost, and I was,
everyone looks around like, what? I
was there. I believe that was 1984. I'm pretty sure.
There's another scene where Will Ferrell gets mad, and you see Bloodsport, Van Damme in his eyes, and you're like, yeah, that was like much later than that.
I think at this point the joke's on us.
I was like, I don't want to be like a guy grabbing on to like what continuity of stuff.
No, it was outrageous.
It's a period piece comedy. You think you'd at least try to keep the references.
See, what I said earlier about the 70s don't sound so crazy now.
No, it does not. And that's the truth, man. It's like the movie is almost like expecting you, like, okay, now how many of you out here gonna be dumb enough to really try to make sense out of this? And I was like, wait a minute.
We've all been bamboozled. But I will say I really did dig the chemistry between the guys this time around as opposed to last time. I mean, just them working off of each other, especially when they're just on their road trip. I was laughing. I was like, I can hang out with these guys. These guys are hilarious enough.
They had that one funny scene that was in the trailer where they're in a car accident and it's all in slow motion. That is genuinely funny as hell for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, but actually, I kind of felt the opposite way, only because they didn't give the other guys except Steve Carell much to do. Like they're in the first reel, and you're like, okay, they're there because it's all the I got to get the band back together sequence, right? But after that, they're just kind of standing around in the background.
They're completely forgotten about, especially towards the end.
Only Steve Carell, they give a subplot where he meets Kristen Wiig, who's basically just the female version of Brick. And, Kristen Wiig, who's a really brilliant comedian, and ultimately they don't give her anything to do either.
No.
Their scenes are kind of dead in the water.
That went really nowhere, except to just have something to close the movie with. But you make a good point with them giving Steve Carell more to do. But I didn't like that because, I didn't. Not knowing what they did with him in the first movie, but I just thought that character was way too dumb.
Oh yeah, that was the thing with him in the first movie. Like he was dumb to the point of him being retarded. Like they even make a reference to that. But it was like he would just yell out random shit, and everybody like, oh, he's so stupid. I'm like, yeah, but that's not funny.
I don't know. For me, he worked better because he was the guy who was genuinely brain damaged, which I guess shouldn't be funny. But he was the guy who was so stupid that he has he's severely mentally retarded and working on a news show.
Right.
I was like, I'm sorry, I know it's horrible, but that guy is funny. Whereas everybody else being supposed to be normal, but they're like pretty half retarded themselves is like, okay, that's not as funny. Him going, it's like sometimes you do want to go full retard.
Like the scenes that I thought weren't gonna work. There's something that happens with the character towards the end of the movie. And I'll just mention the lighthouse, all that stuff that happened in the lighthouse.
That's funny.
I was laughing. Yeah, I really was. That was something where I was like, oh god, okay. Here's gonna be the point where we get the desperate humor, and they're gonna do the typical stuff that we've seen a billion times.
Yeah.
But I was like, wow, they actually wrote that pretty cleverly.
Well, you know what the movie actually does well? They put in stuff that just happens randomly. And they don't put a focus on it. I love when things happen in the background. And it's a very short running joke where for some reason David Ketchner just loves to hug on Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
And there's another part where all the guys are like they see who is it? It's Paul Rudd. They go see him, and everybody's hugging on Paul Rudd. Hey, and for some reason David Ketchner just turns around and starts hugging on Ron Burgundy. And Ron Burgundy's like, "What the fuck off me, man?"
It's like a potential rape about to happen. Like, what the hell? And it's an ongoing thing that works.
Yeah, in the first movie, he was not quite as extreme as that, but still a little too needy with the friendship there. I thought that the actress who played their boss was
Megan
actually
Good?
really good, and
She's fucking hot as
so
shit.
fine as hell.
Yeah,
If
wow.
anything, you're just like she's a real person, and then suddenly she becomes as retarded as everybody else later in the film.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, but you know, she's still hot during those sequences, so that goes a long way.
Oh man, there's a
and-
part where she's in a skirt. Talk about apple bottom. That shit was crisp, firm.
And her shirt was like this really like thin material where her nipples would poke out every once in a while. It looked like a shark fin going in the water and coming out the water. Every time she moved, I was like, oh, it must be cold in that room.
You gotta excuse him. It's Shark Week right now. So excited.
in her shirt.
As well, James Marsden, who here is essentially playing a more expanded version of the role that Vince Vaughn played in the first one, is sort of like the major competitor who's kind of an asshole. And just like in the first one, they cut his balls off pretty much in the early part of the film. Like Will Ferrell's like, I won, bitch. What you got now? And he continues to be funny though. Is this guy who's like, please stop humiliating me.
I really like James Marsden, and I like it when they don't have him playing the guy who's eventually going to get screwed over and his girlfriend's going to run off with some other dude.
Wait, that's every role.
Exactly. This one was different. He was being a dickhead. He was being an asshole.
He had it coming.
And he worked. I mean, it worked with him. And he was in another movie where he was playing pretty much an asshole too. And I was like, these are two of the best performances that guy's done. I wish people would give him more of an opportunity to like really explore that more.
Explore his inner ass.
Yeah. I mean, he's a talented guy. It's just nobody knows how to use him.
That guy can't catch a
You want
break.
to see
can't.
Marsden
He can't.
explore his inner asshole, Leon?
That's what calls his ass.
Yeah. Film that. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll pay good money for
I
that.
think there's a surgery video online from his.
I think that's the next X-Men movie.
Yeah,
We'll wait and
Reject
see.
his colonoscopy.
Leon and bend over and cough. I'll tell you, you Asian people that have always been mad at us. A few of you, I don't know what to say.
My people.
What to call you, Hispanics, Latin Americans.
All of the above.
Mexicanos. I don't know what they want to be
Chicanos.
called.
Taco
Chicanos,
eaters.
all those people.
Beaners.
People of the taco. You know,
People of the brown. Yeah.
all you people got mad at us and said, you know what, you kind of pissed me off the way you talked about us. You got a little bit of your revenge here, because I'm gonna tell you, I know I shouldn't be, but that scene where Ron Burgundy's sitting there with Megan Good and seeing her family, and he's talking shit, calling them crackhead bitches and stuff. I got a little angry. I don't know why.
No, I could tell. It was funny. I was in the movie, and you were kind of laughing steadily throughout it. But after that scene, quiet.
I tried. I began. I was like,
And I wanted to say something. I was like, "Oh, you can have it dished out."
Yeah. I think people around you were chuckling at first, and then when they noticed how quiet you were, there's like dead silence. Yeah, I was over there. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep laughing.
Again, I can't tell if it was the racial shit that he was saying, because I got it. Ron Burgundy was being insensitive because he's dumb.
Right.
Because
It did push it too far. I think too.
Again, because it went on too long, and they had to make it. They had to make the black people very proper, because they had to follow these. He said when Ron Burgundy was talking, he didn't say we don't talk like that. He said, as you notice, we do not converse like this. Except for that one dude at the table, like, hey man, that's my mama.
I know. He was the one dude that almost fucked it up for the whole family.
Yeah,
Hey, shut up.
And yet, if I was a woman, I'd feel more of a right to be offended by these movies, even because all of them are like, like them being the worst kind of sexist jerks, and the women who initially are always smart and strong-headed eventually fall for Will Ferrell, and you're like, wow, really? In a sense, that's much more offensive than one scene where Will Ferrell's too stupid to realize that black people talk like that.
I'm sorry, but during that scene, I've never felt so uncomfortable in the theater just because I was like, okay, I know somebody's going to get really pissed off at the scene, but then I started getting like, oh no, you guys are going a little too far. Like, calm down. And I was getting so uncomfortable. I was about to like rolling into a little like roly poly and about to roll out of the theater.
That's right. You sound like me. I heard they.
You got that old Django feeling.
Well, I've never been so uncomfortable in the theater, more so than 12 Years a Slave.
I couldn't tell if I was upset though, because whether because it was the racial stuff, or the scene went on too long, or because just like everything else historical in the movie, they were getting it all wrong.
I was gonna say he called them crack hoes. Crack not around in 1980.
They were smoking it though.
80s,
That's another
80s.
thing. They was smoking it in 1980, and then he's also saying,
discovered it too lately.
yo man, look at that fly thing right there. It's like, man, they weren't talking like that in 1980. I'm like, damn man,
Fly was around.
was Fly back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Well, I was a corny brother.
You gotta ask Leon. You gotta ask Leon over here. Leon, they say jive ass turkey.
You go back to Sugar Hill Gang in 1978, 79.
back in his days from the streets.
But this is supposed to be like, a rich family. They're like, what are you doing, sir?
Yeah, how dare you
What is this?
such jargon in my home. Yeah, but I tell you, man, I'm caught. I'm caught because the parts that got on my nerves really got on my nerves. I was fucking angry in this. I was like, I just want this shit to stop. And right when I start feeling like that, it would do something where I got to chuckle. There were points where I was trying not to laugh. People looking at me like, "Come on now, you want to laugh." Okay.
Give it up.
Yeah,
Me looking at you. Come on now. Let it out.
Man, fuck. I know. Cyrus, what do I do? Do I be true to myself, or do I think about everyone else?
It's a tough position you've been put in here, but I think you've already accepted. You've admitted what your difficulties were with it. You admitted the way that you were like, I don't feel right about this. But I got to admit, a lot of this made me laugh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Corey, get out your cape. Run your closet and run out.
Here's the deal, man.
I know. Where's his phone booth?
Will Ferrell, this is how he gets you. God damn him, this is how he gets you. He goes out there and he markets the shit out these things, and he makes you like them. And I saw that time that he went to North Dakota and he did that newscast. He put his ass out there for this movie. He believed in it, so he's gonna push me up just a little bit.
Oh.
Let me pull up my cape.
Matinee.
Yes, low matinee, very low, because I know that there's some people out there who gonna like it. Go ahead, have it. I you got me. I'm defeated here.
It's a bird. It's a flame. It's a bird. It's a flame.
It's a bird. It's a flame.
A guy on fire. Falling out of an
It's a bird. It's a
airplane.
flame. It's Captain Matinee.
I actually think I like this a little bit better than the original Anchorman. I went back and rewatched the original recently because I was like, it's been a long time since I've even seen one of these Will Ferrell movies. So my gorge has, like, my gag reflex is back down again. I'm like, everyone keeps telling me how great this is. And honestly, I did like it better the second time around. I was like, okay, this is cute. It has some moments that are genuinely funny. It has a lot of snore moments. This one, I don't know. It was, for me, it was the fact that it was so much more absurd. I mean, there's stuff like, Brick, where did you get a laser gun from the future? And he just goes, it's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of sequences that genuinely made me laugh out loud here. So I have to give it a little more credit in the original, even if I thought that structure-wise, it's a little bit more loosey-goosey,
yes,
if you will.
Ooh.
And I also like that it actually seemed to have a little more of something to say than the first one did. The way it's just saying, hey, Fox News, fuck you. All the way through was like, hey, man, like they're not like somebody trying to do it from like some serious documentary. This is a people's film, if you will, saying, by the way, the news is stupid.
Yeah. And honestly, you know what? That's another reason why I would give this movie a little more credit, because what it satires, it does well.
Yeah, yeah, it actually does to the exact audience that should be hearing this message.
Yeah.
But I can't, like the scene you were talking about with the black family. I was super uncomfortable watching that, and I thought, wow, this was poorly planned. There's plenty of other sequences through that. I'm like, this doesn't work at all, and I hate the fact that they totally sidelined like two of the other guys, the original main cast. It's awkward. The thing with Brick, the subplot with him doesn't work at all. I mean, God knows I hate seeing Kristen Wiig be misused, but I still had more fun than I didn't. I'm going to be Captain Matinee. I'm going to be your Robin. I'm just going to give it a flat matinee.
The Matinee Mobile. Co-host.
Oh, you guys are flying with each other up in the sky.
I'm on fire.
It's a souffle.
Hey, I laugh at a lot of dumb shit. And this is one.
Oh, we know.
So, yeah.
Why you telling us that?
And this is one.
Another dumb thing you said right there.
He was laughing before anything funny had actually happened in the movie. And you said
the
there,
title screen.
Those titles are pretty damn. Titles were hilarious, man. That's all I'm saying. No, I loved it better than the first movie, way more. Actually, love is a strong word. I liked it. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm giving it a matinee. Make some room. Move it. I'm coming through.
Yeah, we got room in the backseat for you. The Matinee Mobile, jump in. Yeah. I know you so well now, Leon. I know you so well that even though you weren't there, your ghost was present.
And what was my ghost giving?
Can I give a rating for you?
Sure.
Some old bullshit.
Yeah.
You would. Do you know this?
he totally would have hated it and been baffled and even a little angry that we're the rest of us.
The whole time I'm watching this movie, you was sitting next to me like a fucking like a Jedi ghost. You was sitting up there like Ben Kenobi. You would look. You had the look on your face. Sweating and shit. Have you ever noticed that when you don't like a movie, you sweat too?
Yeah, he gets the flop sweat.
We just done went and brought it, and you can't handle it, little mama.